Yeah, hello guys, you are highly welcome to Nobody Fashion channel. On this video I'll be taking you through the process of how you can draft, cut and stitch this kaftan jacket. So please make sure you follow the video step by step and you watch to the end so that you not miss, you'll be able to understand every bit of this video illustration. So please, if this is the first time you are checking on this channel, you are highly welcome to Nobody Fashion channel. This is the channel that brings you the easiest, fastest and the simplest method on how to draft, cut or sew anything on men's dress. And if you are returning, I welcome you back to the channel. You are highly welcome back, and I thank you for keeping up with the Nobody channel. So please, without any further delay, let's get started. Yeah guys, the first thing you have to do is to first cut out the senator dress like this. So after you have cut out the complete senator dress, so if you want to know how to cut a senator dress, please you can check the video in my YouTube channel, or you join the training on how to cut and draft and make a senator, a perfect and fitting senator dress. So I advise you join the training so that you'll be able to know how to cut a perfect fitting senator dress. So the next thing to do now is to take another material which you cut remain from the dress. So then you lay it in 2 layers like this. After you have already laid it in 2 layers like this, then you take the front. We are only using the front for the pattern of this dress. So you take the front and then you lay it very well like this, leaving like a 1 inch in the front. So after you have laid it properly like this, then you cut out the pattern from the material you already laid. So you cut it straight like this, leaving like a little space of a 1/2 inch at the tip. Then you cut it at the upper part like this as well. So you are leaving at least 1/2 inch at the upper part also. Then you cut it, make it to rhyme at the side like this. So make sure you follow the guideline that I'm giving here. You leave 1/2 inch upward and then you leave 1/2 inch at the front. So if you want the pattern in the front to be equal, you cut it equally at the down part, and if you want it to be short, you reduce the length. And at the upper part here on the neckline, you give it a notch. So you notch it at the upper part here. You can see that place that I notch. So please make sure you notch that area, and then you measure 13 inches here. So that 13 inches from this neckline, that is where the plackets will fall on. That is where the placket will fall on. So after you do that, then you notch it on that 13 inches. So then you fold it like this. You can see this is how the thing will be. So I'm trimming out this place again, so we can just make it straight once and for all instead of cutting it the way I first did. So just cut it straight without making it having a notch at the front there. So that is it. So the next thing to do now is to take the velvet, and also lay it the way we did the first one, which we lay the first layer. So after you lay the velvet like this, then you place the pattern which we cut out, you place it on the velvet, and then you cut it at the edge straight down. Make sure that the velvet, the pattern we cut, cover the whole area of the velvet, and then at the upper part here you leave like a 1/2 inch and you cut it straight. So please don't slant the upper part, and then you leave like at least a little space of a 1/2 or 1 inch at the down part also, and then you fold it like this. So the essence of doing this is to reduce the wideness of this velvet, so that it will not get to the armhole line. So you can see that it's very close to the armhole. So I'm trying to reduce the wideness of the velvet. So that is why I'm cutting out this. So you cut out this straight and make it to be like 7 or 5 inches wider. So after you cut that, the next thing to do is to apply stay on it. So I've applied stay on this, so on both sides. So I've applied stay on it. And then make sure that the material equal, that is the velvet, make sure that it's equal on the both side. So the next thing to do is to take your lining, the suit lining. After you have already applied ST, you take the suit lining and then you also lay it in 2 layers like this. You lay it in 2 layers like this, fold it properly well and make it straight from up till down. And then once you lay it like this, you place the velvet on it and make it overlap on the lining with 1 inch, with 1 inch. So make sure it overlap on the velvet with 1 inch. So the wideness of this thing we are laying now will be 13 inches. That's the whatever the wideness of the senator dress you are making is. So whatever the wideness of this senator you are making is, you measure it at the down part. So the wideness of this one is 13 inches. So you measure 13 inches and on the material. So if you have enough lining, you can as well increase more than what you have on the senator dress. But on this, I don't have much. I want to manage this lining, so I'm cutting it to be 13 inches straight away. So you cut it out like this. After you cut it out like this, then you separate the two. You separate the lining into 2 pieces. So make sure you follow the video to the end and then you follow it step by step so that you can achieve a better result at the end of the day. So after you cut it into 2 layers like this, then you chalk the back. So I mistakenly make the back of this lining to be facing inside. So please, whatever the face of the lining you are using is, so you just lay this one on it like this, and then the other side you turn it, and then you lay the lining on it like this again. So after you have already laid the lining on both sides, then we stitch it together. So you can see that the lining is excess than the velvet. So make sure you make the lining to be of a excess on both sides, that is the upper part and the down part also. So after you have done that, then you join the 2 sides together. After you join the 2 sides together, then you press it. That is, you press it so that the joining will be able to relax very well. And then you place this one, you place the pattern on it again. The pattern which we cut before, you place it on it to confirm that what you did is still intact, that is still equal. So you just cut this place straight, that is, you slant it a bit and make sure that you leave at least a little space of a ½ inch upwards. And the down part as well, you leave at least ½ inch at the down part. So you can see the place that I'm still marking the place which will notch on the dress, which is 13 inches. So make sure you mark that place and make sure that it's very show. It's show very well, so that you'll be able to know that place will notch, because that place is very, very important. So you lay this one on it, you separate it, and then you make sure that the facing of the face of this material, that is the pattern, and the velvet is facing each other. So we are stitching that one together now, and then you place the second one down again, and then you place the pattern we cut and you place it on it again, leaving at least ½ inch upward and then ½ inch downward. Make sure that it rhymes to the edge of this velvet, and then you have to stitch it together. So please make sure that the face of the lining and the face of the material is facing each other. So you stitch it all through at the tip like that. So let's do that now. So you place it on the machine, and then please make sure you hold this material very well. You know, we are stitching velvet, and then velvet can be stretching sometimes if you don't hold it very well. So you do that on both side of the dress. So after you have done that, the next thing to do now is to top stitch the material. So from the down part now, so that's the point where we notch. So the point where we notch, I can see that I'm still mentioning that place. So you just mark it like this. So you check it where it fall on inside, and then you mark it like this. So from the down part, you top stitch on the velvet from the down part to the point where we notch. You top stitch on the velvet. So that's the down part. Now from the down part of the kaftan dress, you top stitch on the velvet. So make sure the top stitching is very straight. Make sure that it's straight and it's very close to the tip. So make sure that it's very close to the tip, and then make sure you open it very well as well. Make sure you open it very well. So then you stitch it like this and you reinforce it. So once you get to that point of 13 inches, which we notch, so you stop and then you cut it from the back. So here now you notch this place. You notch this place so that you'll be able to shift the material to the other side. So from this point again, now you top stitch on the main bodice. Yes, you top stitch on the main bodice all through. Oh, I've changed the thread here, so make sure you change the thread so that your work will be very neat. So once you do that, you do the same thing on the second side as well. You start the stitching from the down part, so you top stitch on the velvet from the down part as well, and then you top stitch on the main material from the upper part of this place we notch. So you do the same thing on the other side. So now the next thing to do now is to baste the dress. So you baste it like this. So you put a needle, you put a thread on the needle and make it to be a one line. Make it to be one line. So this thing I'm doing, I'm just using it to baste it together, and then I will do what? I will do the final ironing after I do this. So I'm starting from that point where we notch. So that's the half length of this dress. So once you do this, then you get to the upper part, then you cut it. So from that point again, you turn it way around to the back now, and then you baste it also. So I'm not that I've done this to the end so that the video will not be too long. And after you have done that, this is how the thing will be. So that point where we notch initially at the neckline, you can see this, see that place. So you fold it like this, and then you press it very well so that it will relax properly well. So you do the same thing on the other side as well. So you do the same thing on the other side as well. Now here's the dress after I've already pressed the lapel. So you can see that I start the lapel from the point in which we notch, that is from that 13 inches which we notch initially, and you can see that the velvet is reflecting outside at the back, while the blue material is reflecting at the back. That is, the main material is reflecting at the back here. So now the next thing to do is to trim the excess we have on the side, and then make sure that it's rhyme with the body. So once you do this, then you trim it at the down part as well. So you trim it at the down part as well, and then you make sure that everything is rhyme and equal. So now after you do this, then you do the same thing on the second side. You do the same thing on the second side. So you lay the material for the second side like this, and then please don't forget, if you want to know how to stitch a perfect fitting senator dress, if you want to know how to cut it, draft, sew, and then finishing, please don't forget to join the training on the description box below. You see the link to join the training in the description box below. So the training is very comprehensive, from drafting of a senator wear to avoid the squeezing by the side, to how to stitching and do finishing. So please don't forget to join the training. I promise you will enjoy every bit of this that training. So the next thing to do is to stitch the side of the pattern in which we have. You do the same thing on this side as well. So once you do this, the next thing to do is to place this material on the main bodice. So this is the main bodice. Now I've already prepared the placket. So please, if you don't know how to prepare this placket that will lay perfectly well like this without having any squeeze by the side, if you want to know that, please, you can check the link to that video in the description box below. I have a video on how to sew a perfect fitting a perfect senator placket to avoid a squeeze by the side. So once you do that, the next thing to do is to lay it on the main bodice. So it's to lay it on the main bodice, and once you lay it on the main bodice, then you apply office pin all through. You apply office pin all through so that you'll be able to use it to hold the material together, and then you do the stitches at the tip to join the two material together. So after you do this, the next thing to do is to do the same thing on the second side, and then you do the final finishing. So apply office pin all through like this. So once you finish applying office pin here, then you have to do the stitches by the side. You have to do the stitches by the side, and then you start from up here, you stitch it all through, and then when you get to this point by the side here, you stop so that you'll be able to do the folding at the down part. You don't fold the two together, you fold the two separately. You fold the first one, that is the up layer, separately, and the down layer separately, so that you'll be able to have it separate, and then the thing will not be too big, at least it will not be too thick to fold. So you lay the same thing on this side as well. So please, if you want to join my training on how to draft, cut and sew a perfect fitting senator dress, do well to join the training by clicking the link in the description box below. So please do well to do that, so that we're able to have and then now that my birthday is around the corner, I make the video to training to be on a discount. So take the advantage of that discount to be part of this training. Before, I wanted to make this video to make it a bonus for only those that join the training, but now I'm giving it all for free as a giveaway for my birthday. So please give me a like for that, and then after you do this, the next thing to do is to couple the whole dress together. You join the shoulder, you apply piping, you pipe the neck, and then you do the final finishing. I believe this video is helpful. So now let's see the results at the end. So now here's the final result of the dress. You can see how nice the thing come out. So please make sure you follow the video step by step, and then after we get to that level, the next thing is to just couple everything together the normal way we couple the senator dress, and then that is all. So some other trick on this dress I'll be showing you right now. So you can see now. So on the neckline, what I put there is I pipe the neckline. So I think you can see the placket now, and this is the neckline. The neckline will be piped round, so you pipe the neckline round like this. So on this front now, you apply buttonholes here. So once you put buttonholes here, you'll be able to insert the chain in between. So on the down part now, this is how the down part will be. So the down part, you weave the upper layer, and then you fold it, and then you apply hemming gum on it. So once you do, the first thing you have to do is to fold the down part before you do the coupling of the dress. So now let me show you how to apply. So that is it. You can see the weaving on that edge, and on this edge also, just fold it, and then you apply hemming gum on it. Same thing on the down part of this one as well. But you can see the difference here, that the one I used for the illustration before, the upper layer and the main bodice is equal, but on this one is longer than the main bodice, that is the upper layer. So that is why I said that you can do it either way. So this one is not the one we have been using for the illustration before. I quickly asked one of my guys to help me do the finishing of that one, because I have to deliver it to the owner. So I'm using another one to show you the result at the end. So here now, you have to buy a chain which is used for the south dress. That is what you put on this one. So then you cut the chain. The button on the chain normally be like a 4. So but you cut it, and you just take 2 out of it, and then you reduce the chain, then you insert it into the dress. So I saw someone that put a button on this, but you don't put a button on the dress. It's just a chain. So that is the end of this illustration, and I believe this video is very helpful. Please give me a thumbs up, help me click the like button so that a lot of people will be able to see the video and then derive value from this training as well. So please, if you gain anything from this video, help me click the subscribe button, turn on notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop an amazing video like this again. I say thank you for watching. Bye for now.